Hi, my name is Glenn Barnum, and I'd like to welcome you to the 2015 Kansas State Fair. I'm here at the Laird White House, and I'm going to show some tin litho wind-up toys. The toys I have to show you here on the table were made by the J Chain Toy Company. And the Chain Toy Company was in operation from 1903 up until the 80s. These toys that I have here today were made mostly in the 40s and 50s. My grandmother used to come to visit, and when she'd come to visit, she'd usually bring me a toy of one type or another. And luckily, many of them were the type of toys you see here. Anyway, what I'd like to do right now is I would like to operate these toys for you so you can actually see how they work. The first of the toys I want to show you is the Rider Rocket toy. This was the largest and tallest of the carnival toys that the Chain Company manufactured. It's also one of the scarcer toys and one of the harder ones to find. These were all operated with what they called a clock spring, because in the early days all of our clocks were wind-up clocks and operated from a spring, and someone decided it'd be kind of nice to put some action into the toys using that same principle of springs and gears. And it runs quite a long time. The springs were a pretty long endurance type of spring. And while that one's running, I'm going to show you the roller coaster. And this was a very, very popular ride. They produced many, many thousands of these, and they're still pretty readily available and easy to find. Another little action toy that gives you the idea of what goes on with a real roller coaster. And this is another one of the Chain toys that not that many of them were made and sold, so it's rather a rare toy. It's a very unusual, very unique little toy. I'm not sure what actual carnival ride this was copied from, but since J Chain created most of their toys based on Coney Island, I would suppose that Coney Island probably had this type of a ride. And the last one that I have is one that's made by Unique Art. Anyway, this is the sailaway. It has a pullback lever for the spring on it that sets the spring, and then it's off and running. It also has a little musical system built into it. And that's about it. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all the toys operate. I wish I could be here every day at the fair to show them to you personally, but since I can't, then we've made the video, and I hope that you will enjoy it. And I hope you'll come back again from time to time. Thank you very much.
The Old Mill at the Kansas State Fair turns 100 in 2015. This oldest and most popular ride on the fairgrounds is a grand old ride with a long history and many memories for most fairgoers. The first old mills were built between 1911 and 1930 in Little Rock, Arkansas, Oklahoma City, Des Moines, Iowa, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Shreveport, Louisiana, and Hutchinson, Kansas. It is a completely enclosed tunnel that whisks boatloads of patrons through the dark. The water that moves the boats is moved by a mill wheel, hence the name. The ride was first set up in Riverside Park, now Cary Park, on South Main Street in Hutchinson. In 1915, it was moved to the State Fairgrounds for opening day on September 17th and has been in continuous operation since. There are only 3 remaining old mills in Minneapolis, Des Moines, and Hutchinson. In 1937, the State Fair Bulletin reported that 25,000 visitors made the trip through the waterways. This is the same number as 2014. Originally, the tunnel was built of wood with a canvas cover. Over the years, there have been several renovations. In 1923, the wooden walls were replaced with concrete and the roof was covered with a wood frame. The attraction was also equipped with new modern steel boats in 1935. But in 1999, a consulting firm declared that Ye Old Mill was beyond repair. There was much public outcry to save the old mill. In 2006, former Hutchinson Correctional Facility Warden Louis Bruce and 10 inmates worked for 10 months to save the ride from being demolished. Currently, Ye Old Mill runs 8 boats. The ride lasts 3 minutes. Nearly 100,000 gallons of water fill the 1,000-foot-long channel, 2 to 4 feet deep. It takes approximately 20 workers to load and unload the boats, work the mill, provide the scenes, etc. 12 children or 6 adults can fit in one boat. Charlie Griffin is the current operator of the Old Mill. He likes to change up the displays and scary props each year and orders a few special effects from the same company that supplies Disney. He's added an electronic ghost with glowing eyes and a steam-breathing dragon that moves and roars when sensors are triggered. We interviewed several past workers for the Old Mill, and they've told us that no one from the public has ever fallen into the water, but several workers have fallen in when trying to jump across the channel. They also said people sometimes request a certain boat number, like number 5, if that was a boat that they've ridden at past fairs or if it has some sentimental meaning. Carter File, HCC president, said, "One of my first fair visits, I boarded Ye Old Mill for my one and only ride. Soon everything became dark and there were things that came out of the ceiling to touch me. Let's just say it scared the dickens out of me." Harland Priddle took his first ride in the late 1930s. "I was very young, and it was very exciting to ride one of the fair's top rides." Later, he recalls taking more than one date on a ride on those haunting boats. The darkness created an opportunity for young people on dates to discreetly move closer together. It was both scary and romantic, and we could hold hands without being seen.
My name is Bob Hoover. I have had a fascination with trains and carnivals my entire life. The State Fair came to me and asked me to do this documentary as part of this year's history of the Royal American Carnival. Part of the nature of the Royal American was it traveled by train. It was actually the largest traveling amusement enterprise in the world. In its final years, it actually operated like the circuses of old, using old Ringling Brothers circus equipment. The loading process and unloading process was done just like they did in the 1950s with Ringling Brothers. The following documentary will show you meeting the train at McPherson, it following through Inman to the fairgrounds, and the unloading process starting during the day, going into the night. Enjoy your trip through history and nostalgia.